Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mike here, aka that metal guy. Sorry, I got cut off in my last video. I guess I was talking too much, so I'm just going to go ahead. I just want to make sure everybody knows what's going on here and exactly what I'm doing, and maybe you can learn something and, fix something at home. There's going to be a shitload of more videos coming because I've learned so much on building guitars and tweaking. I've been tweaking them for about 30 years and building them for about 10 to 15 years. And I mean, I've been building them like crazy for the last 5 years. So I just want to share the information. All right, enough of this shit. Here we go. Now I'm going to get started here. Now I see the wire. What I was trying to explain earlier is that I'm gonna get this magnifying glass is kind of a bitch to use. It keeps moving around. There we go. All right, so the wire that's going to this. Why do I still hear that? Okay, yeah, because I was demonstrating the signal. All right, so the wire that goes from this coil to here broke when I just removed this tape here. So all I got to do is just unwrap it one more or two more wraps, so I can wrap it around this eyelet down here, at least 5 times, 5, 6 times, whatever, to make sure you get a good connection. So now I got to clean all this solder out of the eyelet that I created, and probably this one too. Get it all cleaned out, get all these old wires, because I did all these wraps. I mean, you could see how thick all this stuff is around the side. I mean, that's already poor work, from the tutorials that I've been watching on YouTube myself. I mean, you know, yeah, it's these guys know what they're doing. I don't. I'm learning, but we're gonna learn together. Got it? Good. Pay attention. Anyway, so now I can feel this wire. That's the top wire. Okay, I got that connected over here, but see, this thing, it doesn't want to go either way. This you can't see. You may not be able to see what I'm doing here, but there's a wire coming out of this top coil, and well, now it just broke. So that's it for that. You see what I mean? So now I got to figure out. I see. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of connected to the eyelet on the left-hand side in your screen. This one here. That is the ground, or the ground, and then this one being the hot. Okay, ground, hot. I'm a little confused because there's a wire that sticks out of the magnet. Now with regular humbuckers, there's a wire that a third wire. Let's say out of any humbucker at the base plate, there's a hole. There's an extra hole on the base plate where the pickup wires go in, and they get connected to the bobbins and all that stuff, the pickup and magnets and bobbins and all that crap. Okay, so there's a little extra wire that gets soldered to the base plate. Okay, for what reason, I don't know. I guess that's your ground, I suppose. Like I said, I'm learning. Anyway, so with that being said, that thing is grounded to there. So maybe there's a third wire coming out of this the bottom magnet that looks like the one on top. I mean, it's identical. So when I see what they did, they just glued two of these together like a sandwich. One's upside down and one's facing up. But so anyway, so I got that middle wire. I connected it and I ran it to the ground. So I mean, that's why this thing is working as well. So when I say ground, I don't know. So what I think what I'm supposed to be saying is there's the start and the finish, or this could be the start and the finish. I was looking into the tutorials where in your switch, if you're having problems like in a Fender Stratocaster and you're out of phase or something, you can actually reverse the wires here and correct that, like, you know, take your hot and put it to the ground, and take your ground and put it to the hot, and then it'll correct that phase problem, out of phase problem. You following me on this? All right, we're at 5:16 already. See, it seems like my camera keeps canceling out at you know, around 10, 11 minutes. So if it, you know, if it at 10 minutes, I'll quit anyway, and it will go to another segment, another part, episode, action-packed episode. Boring. Anyway, so see, I'm acting like this is all fun, but you should have seen me the last 4 or 5 days. I'm ready to pull my freaking hair out, and it's like I finally had to figure it out that, you know, patience is a vulture. No, I mean virtue. But patience is a virtue, because this shit is impossible, basically. All right, now I see the wire coming from the other side. I almost have to flip this single coil around. So I'm going to do that real quick. All right, hold that down. See, that's why I got tape on this thing, because, man, that magnet, if you touch anything to it, you know, it'll just rip off the guitar and just rip the wires off and everything. It's that powerful. It's sick. And that's because it's a humbucker in one little, you know. Dynamite does come in small packages, like they say. I need a screwdriver. Where's my screwdriver? I just had it. There it is. I don't know why I left this in here. See, look at these screws. Those aren't even pickup rings. I mean, pickup mounting screws. They're huge. And that's probably because, you know, I drilled it too big, because my little screws, pickup mounting screws, I might have drilled it a little too big, the holes, and they wouldn't mount the pickup. It kept lifting up and it wouldn't mount, which was frustrating as well. So I had to go with these bigger screws, but later down the road, I'll just fill it up with little wooden or toothpicks or something, and then with glue and toothpicks, and then re-drill, do it properly. Then I can use the smaller screws and mount it correctly. All right, we're probably gonna have to go to another segment of this series, but I'll at least try to get the wire up so you can see that. If I would stop worrying about my cigarettes. People say, hey man, you need to stop smoking. It's going to cause you cancer. I'm like, well, you know what? Food causes you cancer. Most of the food we eat causes you cancer. And they said, well, you know, your heroes like Eddie Van Halen died of cancer, and he smoked most of his life. And I told him that, you know what? Eddie Van Halen, his guitars are what killed him. Because if you look on, when you buy a set of pickups or even a guitar, there's a warning on there about, you know, them being able to cause cancer. And that's because a lot of them, I mean, the pickups contain lead and all kinds of stuff that you don't really think about. You're putting your hands on this shit. When they build them, it's all over the frets and everything. You know, the frets got to have something, some kind of properties in them that aren't exactly good for your, you know, your system. So, you know, just got to think about a lot of this shit. But I've been doing this I've been playing guitars for 44 years and working on them, like I said, for, you know, 20 plus years. And, you know, if this is the way I got to die, then that's fine. And I partied as much as the rock stars did and all that shit too, and I'm still alive. It's, you know, the ones that die is just the ones that can't get out of it and couldn't quit. I'm not going to mention any names because, you know, I have so much respect for a lot of the artists that have passed away, and in a lot of my videos I will say rest in peace to them, because they gave me so much happiness, you know. We lost one recently, and I got to see his band with Warrant and Trickster back in the early 90s, and it was just, you know, he recently passed away, and like I said, I just don't want to mention anybody's name, but He was an awesome human being, and one of the best vocalists of that genre, you know. So anyway, I can't find it. I got this flipped around. Let me see. I can't seem to see. I'm trying to see it. It seems to be on that side. Maybe I didn't flip it around. I'm talking too much. All right, we're at 10:23. We're going to continue this segment in the next video. So stay tuned, everybody. Metal on.